Welcome back guys. In this video I'll be testing Keeper on my Rog Ally that comes with Windows 11 Radeon 780M GPU, which is based on RDNA 3 architecture. It's an atmospheric puzzle adventure game in which we control a sentient lighthouse that navigates a post-apocalyptic world to combat a parasitic threat called the Wither with the help of a bird-like companion named Twig. Game was released a week ago, selling on Steam Store for around $30 in India. It is priced at around Rs 1500. Available on PC Game Pass day 1 of its release. The game officially supports FSR frame generation, but when I enabled it, it didn't improve the performance at all. An in-game toggle for XeSS frame generation setting is also present, but I was not able to find the corresponding XeSS files in the game's installed directory. I think PC Game Pass version of the game does not come with XeSS frame gen. I'll be showing you how to use the in-date version of FSR for Upscaler in conjunction with Optiscaler XeSS or FSR frame gen. Before jumping into the gameplay, would like to thank keymailer and Xbox for providing me with a free monthly subscription of PC Game Pass. This subscription gives us access to hundreds of games. We can play these games for as long as we want until our subscription expires. Games from first-party Microsoft Studio and even third-party studios are available on PC Game Pass. Even EA Play membership is included. In India, Microsoft even supports UPI mode of payment. Games profile won't pop up automatically in Adrenaline software. Need to manually add the game shortcut file to Adrenaline. I'll show you this process. Open the game's install directory. Click on the three dots here. Click on Manage. Click on Files. Click on Browse. Open the game's install folder, Keeper. Open Content folder. Select the game's main exe file, plug and idle, right click, show more options, send to desktop, create shortcut, click it. Just open Adrenaline software, go to its gaming section, click on the three dots here, click on add a game, click on desktop, here look for the game's shortcut file. There it is, plug and idle WinGTK shipping.exe shortcut, select it, click on open. I have already added it to Adrenaline. There's its profile, select it. I have enabled FreeSync and VSync. My Ally is running on BIOS version 342. Install Ally's latest official GPU driver that I had support for Battlefield 6. Using a 27 watts manual profile, all three power values set at 27 watts. CPU boost disabled, 900p resolution. In this game, my external X input controllers didn't work at all, so I'll be using Rog Ally's controller to play the game. Launch it from Adrenaline. Before launching the game, I'll show you RTSS settings. Just open RTSS, click on setup here, scroll down to the end and make sure enable frame rate limiter and inject NVIDIA reflex latency marker settings are disabled. Enable use Microsoft D2's API hooking setting. First I'll run the game without any mods installed. Show you the issues with the in-game FSR frame generation, launch game, display settings, mode set to full screen, 900p resolution, VSync off. Graphics. First I'll run the game using the medium preset. Post processing quality set to low. Advanced setting, upscaler set to FSR. Don't have access to XeSS upscaler. You can see the toggle for XeSS frame generation setting. Grayed out. Using the upscaler's balance preset. Motion blur off. Apply. Jumped into the game. We are controlling the sentient lighthouse and oh my god, we are getting around 22 FPS. Very disappointing performance, hitting the GPU bottleneck. Cannot move the camera around. Using the right stick we can move the lamp. That bird is Twig. Okay, I just dropped the graphics preset to low. Hopefully FPS will increase to around 30. Apply. Load the same sequence. FPS increased to around 29. FPS increased by around 4 to 5 after dropping the settings from medium to low. Still the device is struggling to maintain a steady 30 FPS. If you want to improve the performance further, you need to drop the resolution to 720p. I'll just enable the in-game FSR frame generation setting now. Graphics, FSR frame gen on. Back to the game. Check out the frame pacing graph, became thick, and just check out the animation quality. It's looking very choppy. FSR frame generation is actually causing a performance regression. Forget about improving the in-game performance, so I would not recommend using it. Disable FSR frame gen, off, drop the resolution to 720p, load the same sequence, and now we are getting above 30 fps, 36 fps here. Cross the pond. FPS should not be dropping below 30 now. Image quality is looking a bit soft as expected. 720p resolution with FSR Upscaler's balance preset. Observing some shimmering around the tower. Observing some shimmering in the background as well. Okay, now I'll show you how to install Optiscaler mod. We'll be using Optiscaler's latest preview for version 0.9 20250922 build, available on Optiscaler's Discord server. We'll give the link to their Discord in the description of the video. Just click on the .7z link here. FSR SDK was leaked a couple of months ago. It included files corresponding to the int8 version of FSR 4. These files could be used to compile an FSR 4 DLL. Big thanks to Reddit user athlete-dependent926 for doing this and sharing the file with the community. Click on the Go file link here. From this page you need to download AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.dll file. Click on download here. Download will start. Now I'll install Optiscaler mod. Just open the mods archive file. Select the highlighted files optiscaler.ini, optiscaler.dll, libxeSS_fg.dll, XeSS framegen file, DX11 version of XeSS super resolution not required, libxeSS.dll, XeSS super resolution for Vulkan and DirectX 12 APIs, libxell.dll, XeSS low latency mode file, fakenv API.ini, fakenv API.dll. Fakenv API will replace the in-game reflex implementation with Antilag 2 or XeSS low latency mode depending on the frame generation technique we use. Nukem9 mod not using. Vulkan version of Fidelity FX not required. DX12 title. Select all of the DX12 versions of Fidelity FX files. Right click, copy. Just open Xbox PC app. Go to your library, select Keeper. Click on the three dots here. Click on Manage. Click on Files. Click on Browse. Open the games install folder, open content folder, open Pagan idle folder, binaries folder, WinGDK folder, paste everything here. Now you just need to change the name of optiscaler.dll file to dxgi.dll. Hit enter. Now just open optiscaler.ini file. Scroll down until you find input section. There it is. Under this section, look for a line name. Use FSR3 inputs and just set it to false, otherwise the game will crash at startup with the mod installed. Click on file, click on save, close. Now I'll install the int8 version of FSR 4 Upscaler. Just copy AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.dll file that you downloaded from Reddit. Need to paste it in the games install directory where you install Optiscaler mod, Keeper, content, Pagan idle, binaries, WinGDK right here. Replace the existing file. We are ready to launch the game. In-game settings, just set the display mode to windowed full screen required for using XeSS framegen. Graphics, I'm using the low preset. Upscaler, just set it to DLSS. Yeah, the setting got unlocked. This means Optiscaler mod is working. Change the Upscaler's balance preset. Reflex setting, enable it as well. On. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. There it is. Increase its size. Click on the drop down bar next to menu UI scale. Set the value to 1.1. Much better. Upscaler selected. XeSS version 2.0.2. Input in-game DLSS upscaler TXJ spoofing on. Auto Explorer setting on. I'll just change the upscaler to the int8 version of FSR 4. Click on the drop down bar next to change upscaler and select FSR 3.x as the option. Click on change upscaler again. Yeah, this is FSR 4 upscaler. Display froze. Wait for a few seconds. It's working again. In this game, the display will flicker occasionally white in color with FSR 4 upscaler enabled. You can fix this issue by checking this setting, non-linear sRGB input enabled, model set to default. It automatically selected model 2 for me, which corresponds to the in-game Upscaler's balance preset. If you want to use the Upscaler's quality preset, you need to change the model from 1 to 0, otherwise very ugly shimmering will be produced in the environment. No frame generation enable, I'll just enable Optiscaler's performance overlay. Expand FPS overlay section, check the setting FPS overlay enabled, full plus graph, scale 1.3, base resolution 756 pixels, 756 by 424 pixels, upscale to 720p resolution, save and close. Here check out the image quality now, no shimmering is produced around the lighthouse's guard railings here. FPS is around 34. With FSR 3 upscaler you are getting roughly the same performance, not a big drop in performance after switching from FSR 3 to the in-date version of FSR 4 upscaler. Display is not flashing white in color. Upscaler cost, it's around 3.1 milliseconds. FPS stays above 30. Okay, now I'll show you how to enable XeSS frame generation. Even XeSS low latency mode will work. Just open Optiscaler menu, click on the drop down bar next to FG source and select DLSSG via Streamline as the option. This game supports DLSS frame generation and a Streamline version newer than version 2. So this option will work just fine. We won't be required to deal with HUD fix. This game barely has any HUD elements, that does not even matter. Click on the drop down bar next to FG output and select XeFG as the option. Click on save and close. Restart the game. Launch game. After restarting the game, you need to enable the in-game DLSS frame generation setting. Yeah, it got unlocked. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu. Check this setting active under XeFG. This will enable XeSS frame gen. Frame time graph will become thick like this. Check the debug view. Should be seeing these purple sidebars flickering. I'll use XeSS inspector app to verify the status of XeSS features. Just minimize the game. Run inspector app. From this list select the game, Pagan idle, double click. XeSS frame gen context, yeah, it's running. XeLL context, low latency mode is on. Valid frames are getting generated, all good here. Back to the game. Yeah, I can observe the add amount of smoothness just running around. Animation quality, it's looking much smoother than before. We are getting an FPS with a range of 50 to 55. So good results produced by XeFG in this game. Should be getting a slightly better performance with FSR frame gen. Latency is not a problem as we cannot move the camera around. Can only move our character, the sentient lighthouse. Okay, I'll show you how to use FSR frame gen now. Antilag 2 should work with it. Open Optiscaler menu. Make sure DLSSG via Streamline is selected as the frame generation source. Click on the drop down bar next to FG output and select FSR FG as the option. Save and close. Restart the game. Launch game. Again make sure that in-game DLSS frame generation setting is enabled. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu and check this setting active under frame generation FSR FG. Current Streamline FG state on. I'll also enable allow async setting. Show you FSR frame gen debug view. No HUD elements are visible in the bottom middle image. Game does not have any HUD elements. Color palette is exactly the same for the bottom middle and bottom right images. Smoothing effect of FSR should work properly. Displays are working properly for all of the images. Disable debug view. I'll enable Antilag 2's latency monitor by pressing the hotkey combo Alt Shift and L. Real-time latency value. Yeah, here we are getting around 60 FPS, 55 to 60 FPS, slightly better performance with FSR frame gen, and then XeSS frame gen. Animation quality, it's looking much smoother than before when we had the game running without any frame generation technique. So good results produced by Optiscaler FSR and XeSS frame gen in this game. Completely up to you which technique you want to use. That's it with the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.